Hello guys, in the previous video you have seen the measurement of the angles. So in this video, I'm starting with the problem. The problem is something like this. The question is, find the degree measure of the angle. Find the degree measure of the angle subtended at the center of a circle of diameter 50 centimeter by an arc of 11 centimeter. Now, how will handle this problem? Because we have the formula, but that is theta is equals to length of the arc by radius. But by using this formula, we'll get this angle in radian. We'll get this angle in radian. So first, let us calculate this angle in radian. Since diameter is 50, so radius is 25 centimeter. So angle in radian, this nothing but theta is coming out to be length of the arc is 11. So 11 by 25 radian. We know that pi radian is equals to 180 degree. So 1 radian angle is nothing but 180 by pi. So 11 by 25 radian will be 180 into 11 by 25. We'll write pi 22 by 7. So this will goes on 2, and then we have this is nothing but goes on say 90, and then this is 5, and this goes on 18. This is equals to 126 by 5 degree. So can we write it further? Yes, we divide 126 by 5, 10, then 5 5 ja 25, so remainder is 1. So now we multiply this remainder by 60, divide by 5, so it will goes on 12. So this is nothing but 25 degree 12 minutes. So the angle is 25 degree 12 minutes. Now guys, we have an important thing in trigonometry. How we see the angle in trigonometry? How we see the angle in trigonometry? Angle in trigonometry. See, suppose if this is my vertex, and suppose this is my ray OA, and suppose this ray is rotated to obtain a ray OB. We call this as arm 1, and this is arm 2, and this is known as vertex. Now, in plane geometry, we have studied acute angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, right angle, reflex angle, complete angle. Now, how we define angle in trigonometry? We call this arm 1 as our initial ray. We call this as initial ray, and this ray is known as terminal ray. So this initial ray is say rotated in anti-clockwise direction, say through an angle theta. So how we define angle? Angle in trigonometry, it is the amount of rotation. It is the amount of rotation of initial ray to obtain terminal ray. See, we have rotated initial ray through an angle theta to obtain terminal ray. So I will be using abbreviation initial ray as IR and terminal ray as TR. Now, next comes that in trigonometry, how we see the angle and the sign of the angles. Now how we see the sine of the angles? Sine of angles. See, suppose this is my vertex, this is my initial ray. Suppose this initial ray is rotated in anti-clockwise direction through an angle theta to obtain terminal ray. So we consider anti-clockwise direction measurement as a positive angles. See how we understand it. Suppose this angle is say 30 degree. This is initial ray and this is terminal ray. So absolute measure of this angle is 30 degree. Now can we obtain this terminal ray by only just rotating through a 30-degree angle? No. We can obtain this terminal ray. Suppose this terminal ray is taking one complete turn and then again the terminal ray is here. Now what is the absolute measure of this angle? This is 360 degree plus 30 degree. So now what is the, this is the one rotation. We have taken one rotation here. Now can we take one more rotation? Yes, of course. Suppose if we take two rotation, then what is the measure of this angle? This is nothing but 2 times of 360 degree plus 30 degree. Now we can have more rotation. Suppose if we take say 3 rotation, then what is the measure of this angle? 3 into 360 degree plus 30 degree. So by proceeding in the same way, if I take n rotation, then n into 360 degree plus 30 degree. Now this is anti-clockwise rotation. So this is anti-clockwise. So now can we write this as, we know that 360 degree is nothing but 2 pi radian and 30 degree is pi by 6. So it means we have 2n pi plus pi by 6. Now here if you see, the angle goes from where to where? This n can tends to infinity also. So here angles varying from where to where? 0 to infinity. Now we take another sense of measurement of angle. Suppose this is my initial ray. This is vertex. This is initial ray. Suppose this initial ray is turned through an angle theta in clockwise direction. This direction is clockwise. This is terminal side of the ray. Then the angle taken in clockwise direction will be taken as negative. Absolute measure of this angle is theta, but since it is a clockwise direction, so we'll take this as minus theta. So this way. Now let us have some discussion. Suppose say this is my angle, say 30 degree, minus 30 degree. This is my initial ray. This is my terminal ray. Now we can obtain this terminal side of the ray either by using clockwise rotation or by, we can say that we can have anti-clockwise rotation also. So see that if I take this rotation, then what is the absolute measure of this angle? Absolute measure of this angle is 360 minus 30 degree. You can see it. Now similarly, suppose this is your initial ray, this is vertex, this is initial ray, and say this is terminal ray, and suppose this angle is 45 degree. Now instead of taking anti-clockwise rotation, if I take clockwise rotation, then can you tell me what is the absolute measure of this angle? Absolute measure, because since it is a clockwise direction, this is minus times of 360 minus 45 degree. Now if I take 2 rotation, then what will happen? What is the absolute measure of this angle? Minus times of 360 into 2 minus 45 degree. Now similarly, if I take say 3 rotation like this, then what is the absolute measure of this angle? Minus 360 into 3 minus 45 degree. Now see, if I generalize this idea, if I take n rotation, then I have minus 360 into n minus 45. Now let us write in the radian measurement. So this is nothing but 2 pi n minus pi by 4. So we have pi by 4 minus 2 pi n. Now if you see here, the angle goes up to 0 to minus infinity. Now in fact, if there is some angle theta, if there is some angle theta, say this is angle theta, so this is initial ray and this is terminal side of the ray. So we have infinitely many angles whose terminal side is along the ray. Say this ray is OB and this is OA. There are infinitely many angles whose terminal side is along. So how will represent these infinite angles? So we can write this as theta plus 2 pi n, and now here n is any integer. So n is any integer means suppose if we take n equals to 0, so we obtain theta. If we take n equal to 1, n equal to 1 means we are taking the clockwise rotation. So this angle is theta plus 2 pi. So therefore in trigonometry you have seen that angle varies from where to where? Minus infinity to infinity. So in a trigonometry, angle can be any real number. So now students, you can understand it that why we study radian measurement, because the radian measurement gives you the clear idea that corresponding to every degree measure we have a radian, and that the radian measurement has a real number representation. So that is why, and we study angle in radian, because in trigonometry angle can be any real number. So I hope this video will help you to understand the sign of the angles and how to measure the angles. So in trigonometry the angle can goes up to infinity. So you can consider the example of a flywheel. So it will keep rotating, so the angle will keep changing. So we have the angle more than 360 degree. So in plane geometry we have a restriction that we used to study the angles up to 360 degree. So in this case, so we are studying here inverse trigonometric function. So the here angle can goes from minus infinity to infinity. So please go through this video. So I will be posting one more video to understand the concept of angle. Thank you for watching it.